What a belt, everyone. What a belter. As Nottingham Forest fans head down the M1 after they suffered a 2-0 defeat. Ange Postecoglou is definitely under pressure. Even the home fans were singing sacked in the morning. The away fans, Forest fans, were singing that to their own manager just a few days ago. But they've come away with a 2-0 defeat. Look, it wasn't the prettiest game in the world. I think both sets of teams will be pretty disappointed in the first half. I think second half, only one team will be disappointed. The first half, look, it was unchanged for Newcastle. And it was 3 former Magpies in Forest lineup. And it was a pretty dull affair, the first half. You can't really lie, can you? It was abysmal. I think just off the top of your head coming out, Joe Litton's header, that Cell save, Tonali's shot from the edge of the box. And Nick Pope really only had a tame effort straight at him, which he punched, which you should have caught. But going into half time, you're thinking, Reece, how in Newcastle? You've got to up the tempo a little bit, man. Something's got to give. And I was wondering, would he make any changes at half time or just after half time? But that moment of magic, and I think it's probably needed it, to be fair, because the game was really poor. And it's an unbelievable finish from Bruno Guimarães. He steps up on the edge of the box and just curls it top corner. I had a perfect view in the Gallagher. Beautiful, beautiful goal. And it just lifted the crowd a little bit, and the performance and the tempo went up because we had a few chances. I think Waldemade hit the bar, the underside of the bar. You also had one that was blocked. It just hit the defender on the line, or just a couple of yards off the line. Sells had to save one down low, so we started to up the tempo a little bit. We've seen 2 wingers change, left and right. Barnes and Murphy came on as well. And then right in the dying minutes, Sula and Miley. But obviously Bruno won the penalty for the second one, where I don't think Elliot Anderson, I think it's a bit harsh. The jokes are that he's got the assist for it. Anderson doesn't know where Bruno is. That's his problem. And he kicks the ball and he hits him. And obviously Anderson saying go to VAR, you'll say it's not a penalty, but it's got to VAR. Referee's given it as a penalty, and steps up. We're all wondering who's going to take the penalty, because obviously Anthony Gordon in midweek had the 2 penalties, and there was a little bit of debate. I don't know if you've seen it midweek, because Waldemade wanted it, but Gordon was the designated penalty taker. It would have been interesting if Gordon was still on the pitch by the time that penalty had happened. But Waldemade steps up, a short run up, he puts it in the top of the net. Newcastle 2-0 up, all the celebrations right in front of us in the Gallagher. It was brilliant. It was brilliant to see that. And another clean sheet for Newcastle United. We always think of Eddie Howe's teams, and probably neutrals do, that will all gung-ho attack. But to be fair, the defence this season, the amount of clean sheets that we've kept so far in all cup competitions, must be, would I say, a record high for a long time? For a long time, at least. I can't remember since 1995, since I've been supporting the club, having so many clean sheets at the start of the season. It's been absolutely phenomenal defensively. Obviously, we know about the whole carry on over the summer. We don't have to go into that, because that striker's now struggling at Liverpool. But Waldemade's got off to a fantastic start in his Newcastle career. And Bayern Munich were labelling us as idiots. Who's the idiot now? Because Bayern Munich would have loved him to be back up to Harry Kane. And yet you've got some reject Chelsea striker. So for us, we're absolutely delighted that Waldemade is banging those goals in. And yes, it was a penalty, but numbers all count. So absolutely fantastic for him. Performances wise, individually, I thought Alanga struggled, even though he was absolutely fantastic midweek. Obviously against his former side. The Forest bus is just over there in the background, if you can see that there. Alanga, I thought he struggled. I thought Dan Burn at times, especially first half, struggled as well for pace. But initially, I don't think it'll show on the highlights if you haven't seen the game. But Dan Burn pushes someone, it was offside. If that wasn't offside, that's given us a penalty. So I think he's a lucky boy that it was offside. Bruno's going to take the headlines. That's the positive. He scored a great goal. You got with a penalty. It's Bruno's won with the game. You cannot really deny that. I don't think it's a wow performance, but it was important that Newcastle just won the game going into the international break with another 3 points, and now we're starting to climb. And it's a bit of a shame that the international break has come, because I think it's a wrong time for us. It's come for a great time for them lot, Forest lot, but for us it's come at a bad time because we're winning games now. So, but obviously the international break will come. There was some talk that Ramsey would make the bench. Some of the journals have got that wrong, but he'll be back This has had a little bit of a setback, which is a shame. 2 weeks, a little bit less now for Tino Livramento, so that'll cut his time down a little bit, but obviously by the time that comes, he's probably still going to have 5 or 6 weeks out by the time the international break is up. But enough of me rambling on. I am going to make my way the top round there, around that building, and do the last word up there, so join us a little bit later. Josh has been live as well this evening, and the women have came back from behind a draw today, the last time I checked, so Dave is doing a video for us down on extra. But more importantly, the lads have won. We picked up 3 points. Your comments, as ever, down below are just as important. We'll read them out, we'll reply to them. Want to know how you feel about it, but for me personally, I don't have yous agree, just getting 3 points was more important today, and it's another clean sheet there, the benefits, and Bruno back to full form, which is class. But yeah, love you and leave yous from St James's Park, a very sunny St James's Park after Storm Amy. See you soon.